We're Sarah and Jess pulling chairs to the table, sharing these stories wild and unstable.
So, before we start today, I just want to give a quick heads up that the episode includes discussions around mental health, bullying, and suicide. So, we won't go into graphic details about this topic, but if it is heavy for you, please take care of yourself and come back when you're ready.
And if anything we talk about today hits close to home, you're not alone. We'll share resources at the end, and we really encourage you reach out to someone you trust.
Very true. So, you ever notice how easy it is to say something online? And you'd never say it to someone's face, but online makes it easy. And today we're talking about a story where millions of people had opinions and somehow forgot that there was an actual human that was on the other side of it.
And this isn't about blame, it's about how fast public judgment turns into punishment and how words can do real damage in people's lives.
So today we're starting to tell you the story of Caroline Flack.
If you don't recognize the name right away, you would probably know her face. She was on one of my favorite shows, the first host of Love Island in the UK. Super recognizable, very public, and very scrutinized.
And just so everyone knows, there's actually a documentary that came out recently called Caroline Flack Search for the Truth. And I also watched a different one. I think it was different. I think it was called The Life and Death of Caroline Flack. And I don't think we watched the same one.
So this one, it's basically the mom trying to figure out the truth. So maybe I do have another documentary. The one I'm talking about is on Prime Video, in some regions only, though. It gives more of a background on her life, the media pressure, and everything that was happening behind the scenes.
So we're not covering every detail for today's episode, but if the story resonates with you, it's worth watching. She was successful, she was famous, and from the outside, it looked as if she had everything.
But behind the scenes, she was struggling, especially with the pressure of public opinion and media attention. And let's not forget, she was the host of a love show.
Yes. And then she also did some work with Simon Cowell, I think.
Yep, and Dancing with the Stars.
So she was definitely drawn to the reality television as well, mainly like a commentator or.
Reporter at one point, I believe, from the UK.
And she was adorable, really cute.
Yes.
So we're not going to get into every headline or rumor because honestly, that's part of the problem.
Right. And what matters is that Caroline was facing legal issues, intense media coverage, and nonstop online commentary. Before her case even had the chance to fully play out, the internet had already decided who she was. And it wasn't very nice to her.
No, that's the part that's uncomfortable because once people decide someone is bad, empathy disappears.
Right? Accountability matters, but humiliation isn't justice. At least in my opinion, it's not.
So I think this is where people get stuck. They think being compassionate means excusing behavior.
And it doesn't. Two things can be true at the same time, actually. Someone can make mistakes and still deserve dignity, privacy, and mental health support. And by the way, just to fill everybody in, why this all started is she was in an argument with her boyfriend at the time, and she had seen a girl text on his phone. She supposedly grabbed his phone, tried waking him up. He got hit by the phone. Supposedly it dropped on his head or something. Eventually it got wild. They were both drinking and the cops were called. He called them and said, "She hit me, she's hurting me, whatever."
Yeah, because I think he got cut in the head, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so really it could have got pretty wild. I mean, it could have.
And
And
at
they
some
just,
point, he tried to withdraw the charges because he started to feel
he
bad.
felt
In the
right
court.
away, right? But the media had already taken over. And that's really what I think happens.
Yeah. And she had already had, like you said, the mental health issues. The mom said ever since she was little, she would just cry and be so sad. She would have really high highs and low lows.
Right. I do remember that.
And so that in itself is sad. And if you deal with people that suffer from mental illness, I mean, even myself, I have high highs and low lows. So social media doesn't leave room for nuances. It's either praise or destruction. I love to think that people can have a good back and forth and understand that, but they can't. People just get their brains wrapped around certain things and they can't stop.
Yep. And once that mob mentality starts, people pile on without even realizing they're part of it. So, for instance, I'm sure I've been guilty of making a comment publicly in my life that I regretted making because I just jumped on the bandwagon. And it could have been something silly, but still, I didn't realize it could affect people on the other end of reading what you write.
And we don't know what impacts people or, how they're tied to someone. So I'm always trying to be cautious of that. But, it is what it is. It's, out there in the world for people to find out about, or if it's public knowledge.
True. Look at all these people who are told they're guilty and they're not. People say all those horrible things. So not only did you go to jail and you weren't supposed to, but all that other stuff happened too. that you-
It's very true. So let's talk about the comments, not just the tabloids, but regular people commenting.
The people that make those comments and they say, I'm just being honest. Or, well, if she didn't want criticism, she shouldn't be famous. I cannot stand those people.
Yeah, as if the fame removes humanity. Like, just because you're beautiful doesn't mean you don't have feelings.
Right. And people automatically hate you if you're succeeding. They find ways to not like you.
Like, I want to celebrate with people when something great happens. But you know what
Right.
does suck is when someone's famous and has everything they want and they're total jerks.
Why?
That's frustrating. But also, why are they jerks? I mean, maybe they've just been pressured too much. Maybe
They
people
need
have,
to be friends with Taylor Swift.
yeah, she's definitely a
'Cause
good.
you could tell she's actually nice.
I hope so. I don't really know, but I like to think she's kind.
And that's what people forget. Celebrities read all this stuff, they see it, and they cannot escape it.
Yeah, they definitely feel it. It's
No.
everywhere.
Yeah.
On your phone, it's on the TV, it's in headlines, it's in jokes, it's in memes, it's everywhere.
And eventually it becomes the noise that never shuts off. Let me ask you something, Jessica, and be honest. Have you ever shared, or commented on something negative about someone just because everyone else was?
Usually not. I have to have an opinion on it to start typing about it. I don't like to I don't know.
Most people don't think of themselves as bullies, though. But bullying doesn't always look like name calling. Sometimes it looks like participation. Sometimes do you ever read the replies on a reply and they're like going nuts? It's like its own conversation.
This is
And
true.
you get off
Sometimes
track then.
if something is so terrible, but yet I know I agree with it, I'll just give it a good thumbs up and not say anything, which I guess is feeding the chaos.
Have you ever seen where somebody must angry face? And I've accidentally liked and done things like where my phone is in my pocket and it's on and I didn't know. And I've seen people freak out because it'll be like a horrible post and somebody liked it and they're like on that person and they're like, dang it, I meant to hit the love.
But one of the hardest parts of Caroline's story is how clearly mental health is a factor.
Right. And mental health doesn't care how successful you are. It doesn't care how much money you have, how pretty your Instagram looks. Actually, most of those people, I think, struggle with more mental health issues than they let out there for us to know about.
That's why they strive so hard. Depression and anxiety, they don't always show up as sadness. And sometimes it's exhaustion, isolation, or feeling trapped. And yeah, for everyone is different. One of my daughters is an isolator. She'll just ignore it. Mine comes out in anger, usually. How does yours show?
Sadness, seclusion, and just stopping talking to people, I would say, is one of them. I don't know. Yeah, I guess.
And I think that's half the battle is recognizing what your reaction is. Some people aren't even aware.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, I struggled with depression years ago when I was in my teens, and I absolutely survived by the help of Zoloft. It really did help me through some tough times in my life. I remember when I would take it right, I would be like, why do I feel so good? Why am I happy? Like I was shocked. I struggled because I was a young mom and it was just a lot back then. then in life. And now I don't need medication, but I remember for the last several years, I had not had depression. I kept remembering, like, gosh, God, thank you. I haven't been sad or going through a struggle. But then the last few years hit, and I have been going through struggle, and finally it's starting to feel better. But it just goes to show that everybody's ups and downs are different. But I feel like we all go through these struggles, sometimes months, sometimes years, but you have to remember there's a way out. And mental health is part of that because you have to really keep telling yourself that. So
Right. It is true. So this episode isn't about telling people what to think
it's about asking people to pause
before you comment,
before you share,
before you assume you know the whole story.
because words don't disappear and they don't hit everyone the same way.
Yeah. So it sounds like next episode, we're going to zoom out and talk about bullying, not just with kids, but adults too.
Actually, I think that's a great topic. Oh, yeah. It doesn't stop after high school either. I think it gets more subtle and sometimes even more cruel.
So if you or someone you love is struggling, help is available.
In the US, you can call or text 988, the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, anytime you want, 24/7. If you're outside the USA, we can find some resources and link those in the show notes.
And if today's episode made you think twice before posting something, then it mattered.
One person can get anything out of one of our episodes, then it's worth it to me. Because words hurt, but they can also protect people. So use your words in the right way.
We're Sarah and Jess pulling chairs to the table, sharing these stories wild and unstable. Trash talk to tacos, it's how we play. New episodes dropping every Tuesday. We laugh, we cry, we spill what's real. Heartfelt, bizarre, the chaos we feel. From late night debates to pondering why. We're your best friends on a podcast. Hi. Casual chatter like friends in a room, bright as the sun and loud as the moon. No subject sacred, no thought too small. We're chewing on life, answering its call. We laugh, we cry, we spill what's real. Heartfelt, bizarre, the chaos we feel. From late night debates to pondering why. We're your best friends on a podcast. Hi. From top shelf wisdom to jokes down below, we've got a rhythm that'll steal the show. Hold your coffee, spill your tea, talking trash as tacos in glee. We laugh, we cry, we spill what's real. What's real, what's real.